Welcome to another episode of Third and Three with Coach Roger Holmes. I'm Jason Holcomb, joined as always by the coach. Coach, we've made it beyond that third round. We're in the state semifinals. And first of all, I just want to tell you congratulations on making this very neat step. I've got to witness it a couple times with you from a reporter standpoint. Now I get to be a colleague. When you look back at last week's game, what do you feel like are the things that made the difference for the Irish against Hapeville Charter?
Number one, Jason, I know we wished everybody out here a happy Thanksgiving, and that game just made Thanksgiving week a whole lot better for everybody involved with the Dublin Irish football program, and we hope you did have a great Thanksgiving. But, you know, I think Friday night, Jason, was our most complete game we've had all season. We've been having some hiccups in our kicking game, and last week that was an area I think really that kind of turned the game around for us. We had Quay Ashley block a punt for us, gave us great field position. We got points out of it. They had gone down and scored on a 2-minute drill, if you will, and got it in the end zone, and we turned around and executed a kickoff return perfectly back down. And it was huge because we scored there. It put us up 9, and they had to turn around and kick off to us to start the second half. So, you know, and I think we punched in points there and then made it a 16-point game and gave us a little breathing room, a little room for, you know, to make some things happen. Marcus Adams showed up in beast mode the other night. Mark ran for right at 200 yards. Jaquez had a great game. Offensive line blocked really well. Markel Mitchell had a nice touchdown run for us. So everybody played well offensively. Defensively, Barrick Wadley had a huge night. He had 3 sacks for us the other night. We got pressure out of all the front 4. Secondary was where they needed to be. We had to do a little bit better job in the second half. Our outside linebackers didn't handle the curl area as well as they needed to. But it was a great team win overall, and now we got to go take on a common foe, I guess, in the playoffs here, because this will be our 3rd year playing Thomasville in a row. We went down there in 17. They beat us at their place. They came here in 18. We were able to beat them, and now it's a rubber game and a huge game. But it's going to be exciting.
Yes, it is. This has been almost a rivalry, so to speak, the last 3 years. And I know 1AA. We've already talked about it. We faced 2 teams this year, and this is the region champ from that region. So we know that these are tough teams. They're going to be quality football teams. And Coach, I know for you, you're trying to make sure that the boys don't harken back to any of those previous 2 games. That has no bearing on this week. So what do we have to do this week to ensure that maybe we're playing at Georgia State next week?
Well, the thing that you got to do is do what we do. You know, that's the thing that's so impressive about Thomasville. Coach Grage is one of the top young coaches in the state of Georgia. He learned a lot working for years for Rush Probst there at Colquitt County. He runs a phenomenal program. Their kids play extremely hard. He's got quality assistant coaches. Everything about the Thomasville program is one that anybody would want to emulate. It's that kind of program. But for us, it comes down to the same things it always has. We've got to find a way to be able to move the football on the ground because that's what we do. We've got to be able to throw some play-action passes if they start committing too many people to the run game. And, you know, we've gotten better at that. I see improvements every week in practice, and with something we've worked on very hard. And we're getting better at it. We still haven't had to use it a whole lot, but it's something that we've continued to get better in. Their kicking game for them, I know watching the Brooks County film, for example, that was the difference in their win against Brooks County, was their ability to win the kicking game. And so they're very sound in it. And then offensively, they're very much like Bleckley County. I think the coach at Bleckley County and Coach Grage are real close friends and rely on each other and bounce ideas off their heads. And so there's some things I think that we've got to go back and study our film with Bleckley very closely, see what they were able to hurt us with, because we're sure that some of that stuff is going to show up Friday night.
Isn't that the truth? That's the whole point of watching the film. It's not for the entertainment value that I get out of it. It's to actually learn something. And Coach, I know for you, whenever you're watching this film, you see a lot of quality players. I saw their quarterback. I saw some running backs. I saw some receivers on the defensive side. They're just doing a lot of great things, and that's how you make it to a semifinal game, obviously. We want to let you guys know that Thomasville Stadium is right there by the high school. We're going to flash the address for you so you know how to get there. Probably throw up a little Google map for you as well. Tickets are $15. We're currently pre-selling those at the high school from 7:30 until 2:30. Want you guys to go ahead and buy those tickets in advance so you can show up to the game ready to come on in. There won't be any issue with that. Want to also make sure that you guys know that there are some private folks out there getting some charter buses lined up. We as the school, we're just going to be managing getting our kids down to the game and back. Want to make sure that you guys take the time to come. It is a solid 3-hour drive. There's like 5 different ways to get there, and every one of them is 2 hours and 57 minutes.
And Jason, it will be a phenomenal atmosphere. For a round 2 game down there 2 years ago, it was rowdy, it was full. It's going to be a great atmosphere. We hope everybody from Dublin can make it down. It'll be a great night. We know we got our hands full, but heck, at this time of the year, you wouldn't expect it to be any other way.
That's exactly right. We just want to make sure that you guys come out and support these young men. There is no guarantee that we're going to be in next week's game. We'd love to be there. We need y'all this week to support the team this week. That way, hopefully, we can make that next step and try to get off for another state championship for these Fighting Irish. But before we go, Coach.
This is what I'm looking forward to.
I know he is. We must ask Coach a question. All right, Coach. This week we're going to go ahead and take it. These are rock star times. You have to be a rock star to make it to this round of the playoffs. And so we're going to go old school rock stars with this one, and we're going to throw out a couple of rock stars. The first one's going to be Mr. Jimi Hendrix.
They tell me that guy could play a guitar like nobody else.
Yes. It's so amazing to me to watch him play and to know that he played wrong-handed too. A lot of people don't realize that. He played wrong-handed. And I'm wrong-handed, but I played right-handed, so I don't understand that. That just shows he's smarter than I was. And our other one, Coach, this week is going to be Mr. Duane Allman of Macon, Georgia. So those are your 2 this week. Who do you have for this week's mustache?
I like Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, wow. There you go. I'm going to tell you right now, that surprised me a little bit. So we got Jimi Hendrix as the mustache. We got the Irish heading down to Thomasville for a semifinal matchup. Tickets are $15. Can be purchased at the high school from 7:30 to 2:30. Make sure to buy those now through Thursday. Want to see you out at that game. It's worth the drive. It's going to be an awesome game. Let's cheer these Irish on to another chance at a state championship. As always, you've been watching 3rd and 3 with Coach Roger Holmes.